All right, LeBron James interview on Complex with Richard Jefferson is the gift that keeps on giving. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. And check out the NBA Talk playlist. LeBron say he had the 2 toughest championships in NBA history. Talking about the bubble, trash. He's talking about his comeback 3-1 over the Cavaliers. I disagree. I think the toughest finals, it ain't too many of them to be honest, but I think the toughest finals was the Mavericks beating his not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8 Miami Heat team. I think that was a better finals than that, a tougher finals for Dirk and them. Obviously, the 2 Piston championships in the 80s. I'm a Piston fan, but then think about it. Think about the Lakers in Boston was always preordained to be in the finals. Also, it was another one in there too. Just bounced off my head. It's another. Oh, the 04 Pistons beat the super team, the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that was a good one. Man, there been some pedestrian ones too, but I think those better than the ones he named by far. And it could be some other ones that I just can't remember, but those for sure, in my opinion, were tougher than his. And let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, check out the NBA Talk playlist. In LeBron championship, let's talk about the Cleveland one. For one, they helped you. They suspended Draymond Green. And they didn't suspend Anthony Davis this year when they should have. So right there, you had a push from the NBA. To me, your finals is not hard if you are the NBA darling and they doing everything to get you a championship. Magic, Bird, Michael, those 3. Come on, how can you say you had a hard championship when the league is trying to push you to be the next? I mean, that's why Isaiah Thomas championships were so hard, because they didn't want the Pistons to be next up. They didn't want the Pistons to win the championship. They didn't want the Pistons to win. That's why the Pistons went into the bad boy and started basically playing their hard basketball, because that was the only way they was going to get a championship. So, you're talking about the preordained champions, Lakers and Celtics in the 80s, and then Jordan in the 90s, and then Hakeem Olajuwon. He probably had a tougher championship. Remember, LeBron talking about a tough championship. Look, Hakeem and them was like the 6th or 7th or 5th seed. That's a tougher championship. And then once again, Hakeem didn't have another all-star on that team, dude. I mean, Otis Thorpe made it, but it wasn't the year they won it. So Clyde Drexler, he did make it the next year. Clyde Drexler was an all-star the next year. But the first year, he didn't have another all-star. Sam Cassell was nice. Robert Horry, they almost traded him. You know what I'm saying? Who else they had on there? Kennedy J. Smith, Otis Thorpe. It wasn't Mario Elliott on there. I'm talking about Barnett Maxwell. He wasn't no all-star. So you talking about, and shout out to Otis Thorpe. He played for the Pistons in the 90s for a minute. So you talking about Hakeem Olajuwon didn't have another all-star. Isaiah didn't have another top 50 player. He was the only top 50 player on the time sitting up there by himself. And then again, the league was going like this for them not to make it, and they was pushing LeBron to make it. They was trying to stop Isaiah, stop Hakeem. They didn't want Hakeem to win it. They didn't want Isaiah to win it. They didn't want Dirk to win it. Now, I will say this. Had he won that championship the first year versus Golden State, and he would have been able to find a way to win that without Kyrie and Kevin Love, easily probably would have ranked up there as the great. I would have said that was number 1. Even though he's pushing for LeBron, if he won that first championship without Kyrie and Kevin, won another all-star on the team. Had he won in San Antonio the first year, easily would have been the greatest feats that ever been done in the NBA. But then again, just from me, the NBA finals that I know, just in the 80s, man, it was just Magic and Bird. And why Magic and Bird was so important is they took the NBA. Remember, college basketball, they did hella ratings. They took the NBA finals for being on tape delay to, national televised TV, and then, NBA games started being on ABC, and they took the NBA off the ground. They took the NBA from finals for being on tape delay to a major sport. The NBA right now is like, it's a good question. What is it like? The NBA was like NHL right now. That's how they was, like NHL. Maybe even like the XFL league. Probably, they would not, the NBA was not on TV. It was not a huge thing. Remember, they was battling with the ABA, and then, Magic and Bird did great numbers in college in the NCAA finals, and then they just took the league to another stratosphere. And then Michael Jordan they took it national, and Jordan took it international. But, at the end of the day, he has a right to opinion to say what he thought is the hardest one. But then again, he's just an arrogant fool. Your bubble championship was bullshit. Let me say that. About how dare him come out here and push the narrative that the bubble was hard. No travel. Okay? You know, all you gotta do is hoop, no distractions. No, that bubble shit was garbage. How can you say that's one of the greatest finals of all time and nobody fucking watched it? More people watched the Sunday Night Football pregame than they watched basketball. Nobody watched that finals. Only 5 million people tapped in to watch that to watch the finals. That's nothing. Michael Jordan last NBA Finals did over 36 million people. Nobody watched that finals. The bubble was trash. That final was trash. You know what I'm saying? You know, that wasn't no hard championship. That's the worst NBA championship ever known to man. All 11 of Bill Russell's championships was better than that. You know, he just trying to push it near. And then once again, what made LeBron so fucking whack is that the whole media is dick sucking him. Remember the other finals? I mean, the NBA final championship that he didn't make, or the playoffs he didn't make. They said, well, the ratings are down because of LeBron. LeBron came back the very next year, and the ratings was rock bottom. The bubble was just no defense, no competition. It was just a garbage brand of basketball. You know, but then again, he can toot his own horn, his own opinion. But don't nobody put LeBron on a pedestal but niggas that was born after 95 and after. Nobody. If you ask anybody from Charles Barkley, Kenny Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, if you ask anybody putting LeBron James on a pedestal unless they're being paid to put him on the pedestal. He ain't the greatest. Us that witnessed Jordan, dude, we know what Jordan was about. Those who witnessed Wilt Chamberlain, you know, greatest athlete ever to do it. He benched 400. He outlifted Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look up. He jumped with that 48, 50-inch vertical. You know, you talking about individual. Wilt Chamberlain's probably the greatest individual basketball player of all time. He scored 100 points regardless. He scored 100 points. And just look at his dimensions. You know, he had a 48, 50-inch vertical at 7'1", 7 foot. He bench pressed 400 pounds. Come above that. Wilt Chamberlain. Come on, you talking about just off individual game? Wilt Chamberlain, bro. And they say he was a better receiver on the field than Jerry Rice. Look this up. He's like a fucking comic book legend. You talking about the greatest individual basketball player is Wilt Chamberlain. Now, if you talking about accolades and everything, it's Michael Jordan. LeBron ain't even the greatest individual basketball player. They changed the rules for Wilt Chamberlain to stop dunking. They said he drove from, I think it was Jersey to Philadelphia for basketball games, bro. Come on, man. Then he fucked over 1,000 women. You know, well, did he have kryptonite? Yeah, Bill Russell. He was a long jumper. You know, he was a high jumper. He could have been a high jumper Olympian. He averaged 22 rebounds a game. God ain't just put athletes on with LeBron James. But that bubble was garbage. That's the worst NBA championship of all. It don't even count in my book. And had Kawhi won it, it wouldn't count. I really don't have no favorite basketball player besides Damian Lillard. NBA is garbage. Like, you look at, like, who else can you really like in the NBA? Kawhi cool, but other than Damian Lillard, I really just don't have no favorite basketball player. Back in the day, it's a lot of ball players, man. Shit, even pedestrians. Like, I used to love watching Bobby Phillips and David Wesley play. Who else you had out there? Hakeem Olajuwon was one. Tim Duncan was one. Ray Allen was one. KG was one. Allen Iverson was the ultimate one. Even though you hated Jordan, you loved watching him play. You know, I had a lot of great basketball players. Terrell Brandon, Mark Price, Brad Daughtry, Larry Nance Sr. I mean, you had a lot of ball players that could really hoop back in the day. Grant Hill, Alonzo Mourning, Gary Payton, Hershey Hawkins, whatever the name Herschel Hawkins was. Deadlift Ship was another guy I like watch playing. Reggie Miller. Maybe just keep going on and on. I used to love watching those New York Knicks and those Miami Heat battles. Those was like the last of the last thug out battles. But you know, then he talk about his finals against the Warriors. For one nigga, they suspended Draymond Green, and that helped take away the momentum. So then again, he would have won the finals anyway. Had they just went down and lost and took they ass whooping to the Warriors like they should have took it to it. The next year they would have won because they wouldn't even got Kevin Durant. So no, that wasn't no great finals. It got an asterisk to it. They suspended somebody. Out of all the shit the Pistons used to do to Jordan, or if they thought about it, they could have easily suspended Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer. They could have easily suspended one of those guys. That wasn't no, man, come on, you look at that team, really, who a great basketball player on that? Who a top 20 player or top 50 player of all time? People say Steph Curry because he's a 2-time MVP, but he's James Harden in the playoffs. He just got a lot of great supporting cast. He ain't did shit in none of the finals unless Kevin Durant was hooping. Klay Thompson, he okay, do good ball player. Draymond, a good ball player. That's cool. But then again, think about the shit that Isaiah had to go. He had to go against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest of all time. Magic Johnson, James Worthy. You could just kill them. Eventually, they got Byron Scott in the 90s, I think. But then those two of the three of the greatest basketball players of all time. McHale, Bird, Parrish, great. You know, LeBron went against three guys that ain't even better than the guys that I named. However you slice the cake. Steph ain't better than Magic Johnson. Steph ain't better than Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? So he's just sitting here trying to pat himself on the back. Oh, y'all, no, both of your finals was trash. Them finals you won versus the Warriors, they suspended Draymond Green. That changed the whole dynamic. MLB could have suspended another player for doing the rest of the start. They suspended him for the regular season. So please, you can get at malarkey to your LeBron fanboys. You don't have any great finals, in my opinion, as far as that rank up there as the greatest NBA finals, nigga. All three of the Piston finals was better. The first Hakeem Olajuwon finals was better. And Dirk Nowitzki finals, the ones that I witnessed, was better. You coming back, not one, not two, not three, not four. Come on, those was way better finals than yours. So stop it. Stop acting like those two finals that you had didn't have asterisks by them. And then even the Oklahoma City Thunder finals had asterisks. They blatantly cheated that finals out of Russell Westbrook and KD and James Harden. They cheated that finals, and I can prove it. But hey, let me know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, a video request. All my social media links in the description. Twitter's the fastest way. Then Facebook, then Instagram. Then we got a Facebook group as well, too. You can check that out. Want to make a financial donation, Cash App, CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. The best way to donate is to share the video. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We gone.